Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, nerdlings of all ages, welcome to game number 2 of tonight's PUBG EU Pro Scrims. I am Jorazar. The playing path on Miramar is almost a 6 o'clock to 12 o'clock. Not quite, but it's good enough. It is good enough. Very, very even, and most teams should be able to comfortably land where they need to on this playing path. That's excellent. How are you all doing this evening? Hope you're all having a fantastic evening. For those of you who haven't watched it before, this is the PUBG EU Pro Scrims. So it means that some of the best teams in Europe are basically practicing together, and we get a lovely window seat peek into how they are dealing with everything. So I hope you guys will all enjoy this. I certainly am. Oh my god! Oh my god! This, ladies and gentlemen, is the Esports Circle. I normally save this for Erringle, for Millie Island circles, but you know what? I am very happy to make an exception here. That is ridiculous. Wow, okay, we're going to be seeing some very early rotates. The question is going to be from who? Sub coming in from Texas Viking. Thank you very much for the prime sub there. Ooh, excellent racing line from Dogza here. Riding on board with mForce. They're actually going further out of circle. They're going to be looting Impala by the looks of things. Entropiq are in North Los Leones. We've got Hall of Game, who are just south of them. So these are going to be the teams to watch out for early doors. Oh my god. This is going to be quite the game. Oh my. Well. We've got After Ult here on the east side, looking like they might choose to stay edge and then come in from there. I can see them rotating via the southern road here, so where Anna is now, and coming back down and up. The problem is Hall of Game are actually retreating further out of Los Leones, possibly to consolidate on this sort of area. I think they're just going to basically 2-2 split in a couple of compounds and wait for everyone to rotate in. The teams that are likely to be rotating late, HEET Gaming. We've got Team Unique up by Lacob as well. Rose should have vehicles in crews. They should be just fine, to be honest. Let's just do a quick double check and do a run through. There's the Murado. We're good. They've got at least one vehicle, and I suspect they've got two, and it's just parked somewhere that I haven't immediately seen. There's probably a car up by the church somewhere. They're going to be fine. They've got vehicles. They're able to rotate in. Who's going to be the first, though? That's the real question. That's going to be the real question. 4 minutes now, and we're still not seeing everyone in cars moving towards. I'm a little bit surprised. Mercurial now moving out from Hacienda. I thought teams would be slightly more eager to rotate in a circle like this. They should be good to go. NaVi also moving in now. Now, remember we were saying in game number 1, we were watching how they were rotating. They rotated north, then had 2 southern shifts that kind of messed with their plan to go further into center in zone 1. And they ended up being the first team dead. So I'm very keen to see how they adjust their approach, or if they adjust their approach in game number 2, whether that was just bad luck and it's fine, just keep doing it. We'll find out in just a sec. They're going to be rotating towards the east, just avoid Los Leones altogether. So there's a chance they'll be grabbing maybe compounds like this. They could just be taking the hill over here. It's got a really nice bit of high ground. In fact, I think that might end up being what they're doing. You can see here, there are places to stop vehicles inside this little bowl if they needed to protect the tires. They could potentially take the 5 stack, for example, or even the hill on top of that, although I think that's now getting uncomfortably close to Entropiq. Oh, well, that is a very, very free AWM. And Nailup actually leaving it there. No, he's grabbing it. Okay, he's grabbing it. So Team Liquid in, NaVi in, Entropiq in. They started in North Los Leones, so not exactly a surprise. NaVi playing Mountainside just for a little bit. Possibly as a staging area to get closer, although they have to be careful of Ebas and QB, who are definitely within striking distance if NaVi are not careful. Who else is coming in now? We've got Virtus.pro moving in towards Big Boss Life. And Iotech and Smash might actually spot these guys as they come in here. Moving slightly off-road. That's BBL there. Doesn't look like anyone's going for that lone building. They're happy with this rotation from VP. Don't think anyone is realistically going to be bothering these guys or giving them too much of a hard time. A couple of shots just to make sure they continue to rotate away, but otherwise fine. EXhalatioN, though. Almost the very definition of a send-it team. We do love seeing their crashes. And to be fair, they're good at it as well. Are going to be neighbors with BBL, so not quite going the same place. But close enough that BBL are going to have to notice. Salik immediately looking to see if someone's there. And getting that confirmation pretty darn quickly indeed. So, HEET Gaming are indeed coming in late as we predicted. So are Team Unique, although they're only just behind Enterprise, actually. The good news for everyone who rotates and gets into a decent position now, there's only so crazy the zone can get with this much water. So generally speaking, you find that the teams like where Entropiq are now, Hall of Game, I would argue BBL, Team Liquid, they should be fine for a couple more zones. If it goes crazy over towards Los Higos or goes crazy east towards Puerto, that's a problem. That's a problem. PinkPony in on the east side. They'll be hoping for that exact chaotic hard shift, I should say. The Ghetto Gang. Are the Ghetto Gang clown carring? No, they're 2 cars. They're just super close to each other. Okay. So 4 coming in here. How close are they to Enterprise? Close, but not close enough. Okay. Not so close that I'm mega worried for them, but they will be moving into each other fairly late indeed. I don't think Enterprise are going to catch up because Ghetto Gang are just going along the main road here. They could actually be coming down this way, or they could be going into Los Leones. We'll wait and see. Note how no one is in Los Leones now. You just don't want to have to rotate out of a city if you can help it. So when the teams are able to avoid that, they absolutely will. I'm very impressed with how many people are still alive. Take note, by the way, NaVi, they came center, staging area. If you remember correctly, they were on this hill. They've now moved further forward. It was just Alia who was here before. Quizzy and Al Ryan are now moving in with them as well. It looks like they did lose Melman in the rotation, but this is feeling smoother overall. I guess losing a team member is never good, but feels like they're getting back together. They're able to group up successfully. They know what they're doing, so it'll be interesting to see how the rest of the game plays out for them. The Roses coming up behind them could be fun as well. They're stopping on the hill where NaVi were doing their scouting originally. Don't think they're going to be bothering NaVi from this angle. And no. NaVi. Whoa, hang on a second. That's a send and a half. I realized they're moving away slightly. I didn't realize it was quite at this pace. Okay, so this is very interesting indeed. Getting very active against Hall of Game down south. And this actually means that multiple teams could be shooting towards them. After all, to very close to where NaVi are now, for example. That is dangerous. That is dangerous indeed. Archie from PinkPony attempting to go via the southern road. Gets absolutely peppered by mForce. Manages to make it back though, at least. So, I guess you got good intel off the back of that, but that's really about it at this point. PinkPony are a little bit further from the shore. And man, this circle is just brutal. 5 seconds left to go until we move, and it's still basically 50% water. I cannot believe this is happening. It does mean that phase 3 and 4 would arguably be pretty chill in comparison. Unique now moving past Team Liquid, threading the needle between them and EXhalatioN, actually. Wow, that's a lot of bullets heading their way. Let's go on board with Dante, who's the tip of the spear. Are they going to rotate towards where Entropiq are on the left-hand side? How did they manage to survive that? I'm not actually sure. I was expecting at least one of these players to get picked off in rotation. But they seem to be able to survive. NaVi have also stabilized. Quizzy very close to dies. But they're not moving in on each other just yet. So this could end up with both players keeping a respectful distance. Although if Dice keeps shooting towards Mercurial, I think it gives like... not a free pass, but Quizzy's going to fancy his chances at coming in over the top and third-partying that. He's very close to being able to see Dice. He sees Y. And gets spotted by PinkPony instead, so moves back. I think he'll know that was the third party. Enterprise moves in. Virtus.pro now... wanting to dissuade a free kill from coming in. Unfortunately, not quite doing it. Very difficult to do that from spray at range. A little bit less so, though, for Spyro and Batulins, who are significantly closer to this vehicle. And because Batulins is even on the right side of the cliff, that is free kill, unfortunately becoming a free kill for Virtus.pro here in game number 2. 10 seconds left to go before we see where phase 3 goes. Surely this can't be any more ridiculous than it is now, right? Surely. And here we go, phase 3. Okay. It does shift west, but you know what? I'll take that. That is at least mostly land. Digital Athletics now and Team Unique fighting for the same compound. And Team Unique was so late in, I don't actually know who's fighting who, but it's DA who are outside of the compound and Unique who are in it. So you have to assume DA are the ones that are trying to move in. A doozy has been lost. Faultlessly has been knocked, but is able to get revived by Dante. On the DA side in the interim, they're actually down to a duo. EXhalatioN are shooting them from up north as well, which isn't helpful. She Created and Schiller are the two players left. Danica gets taken down by Girya in the meantime. This is the battle to get into the circle from the east side. Chances are only one of these teams are going to be able to survive. ProRix here is hoping that staying quiet means that PinkPony won't be losing the dead bodies. You can get in that Murado potentially and rotate in. Is that Murado drivable, actually? I haven't checked. I see 2 tires on this side. It is, if he chooses to use it. Let's see if he goes down or goes in on foot. I think he's going to get in the car. There we go. So HEET Gaming down to 1. We'll see if they could move in safely. I get the feeling that mForce might have... No, I thought they were going to move by the time ProRix gets in, but they're still shooting. This doesn't look like they're letting him go anytime soon. Dogs are on the front line here, deciding to get out of dodge. They recognize it's a single player. And they just want to get into a more defensible position in zone. Jempty is down for Mercurial, and they're trying to get the rest of the team up. Blazor here looks like the main player alive. That's for Ghetto Gang. Jedrox is here also, but the Roses are rotating close by. I don't think they're going to end up being a third party, but it's worth watching. Wyan dies, by the way, just eliminated PinkPony. That's big. I'm sorry we missed that. That is big. PinkPony were part of the team that were gatekeeping, remember, earlier on the east side, so they've gone down now. A lot of smoke's going down now so that Blazor can res April. If he wants to make use of that before the smokes run out, he's going to have to do that now. He does. Jempty has been lost from Mercurial. The rest of them, though, are on the edge. Phase 4 moves in from the edge of water. And this is a little bit more relaxed. Most players here will be reasonably happy with this. A couple of the teams on the edge are going to be sweating a little bit, notably EXhalatioN. And quite possibly mForce as well, because if they rotate further away from whole of game here, they end up going into Virtus.pro. And for that reason, I don't think they want... Oh, Pixelic, you beast. SLR headshot. Good timing on the bullets there. And that buys them time to move in. This is going to be a push from Mercurial. Watching on the south side because they want to know, is anyone possibly going to third party this? And if not, how do we move in as quickly as possible? Here we go. Swarming around the shack. Sees one through the hollow sight, but gets taken down by Blazor. What a fantastic knock that is. April, though, goes down, go to a frag grenade, so they've evened up the scores, but Dogzer is coming into third party. This is why it's so important to try and get these fights done ASAP. EDS trying to go for Gedrox. Spots him. Are they the last players alive? EDS certainly is. For Mercurial. No, Gedrox goes down. He's not out yet, and that's because we still had one more player. It's Blazor. He comes back and manages to finish off Mercurial. Smoke's down. He should be able to revive Gedrox. He's not bleeding out too quickly. And we'll be able to get into some form of cover. A quote-unquote hard shift to this portion of the map isn't going to bother teams too much. What will bother a couple of teams, though, is the fact when you've got a team like Virtus.pro pushing into your compound, makes you sweat a little bit. That's what's happening to BBL Esports right now. Everyone except Batulins right outside this compound for BBL. Code Marco a little bit stuck in here. Well, he must have heard. Yes, he did. He heard the player coming out the edge. IoTech with the flashbang. Underarm nade. Doing quite well there. Oh, he hasn't seen the player in the smoke. Code Marco here so close to the rest of Virtus.pro. And Lou gets info on where all of them are. Comes back up to res Perfectix. Knocked, using the carry mechanic to get him to a safe spot. And should be able to get the res off. This is crucial for the south side of the circle. In the meantime, Afteralt and Y running away from whole of game. Not sure how fast they can run, though. And Y is definitely a little bit stuck. So are mForce, who have to deal with Gedrox. Gedrox and Blazor, of course, of the Ghetto Gang. Successfully survived against Mercurial. They have to do the same thing against mForce. A couple of decent hits with the M4. Vorix also moving in alongside Dogsa, though. They don't have much time left. Look. Circle moving in now. In 2 minutes' time, all of these teams are going to be consumed by the circle. Dogsa with the nade actually provides the impetus for mForce to push. That was critical for them. I don't think they know for sure it's a duo, but they're going to be very happy with this. This means now that not only is Gedrox out of the game, but Blazor can't realistically compete. He's going, where is he? And it's because he's crouched just on the other side of that car. Oh, Vorix. You're so good. Vorix knows, man. Vorix going to heal. Dogs are taking over. Unfortunately, though, Dogs is getting third-partied here. Vorix down. Oh, no, and that's nail up, which means Entropiq are coming to third party this. Blazor's very happy for this to happen, by the way. He just wants to go prone and let everybody else deal with the aftermath of this fight. Remember, none of these guys are in the next circle yet, so they all have to move, Blazor included. He might have a good spot now, but it's honestly not going to last for very long. Let's go on board with Nail as he looks for this third party. Looks like he's shrinking back into the rest of his team, and that's mainly because Lucarux and QB have actually got a decent place to move back into the circle from, so that's fine. That's mForce eliminated. Still Blazor up. And Nail finishes him as well. Entropiq responsible now, effectively, for wiping 2 teams from this lobby. They're up to 5 kills already. They're having a pretty decent day. El Ryan gets completely demolished by Nail as well. Another kill in as many seconds. Nail having a great mid-game here as we move into phase 5 of game number 2 here in tonight's EU Pro Scrims. Next circle shifts a little bit towards the west, and what that essentially means is that this fairly flat dust road, gentle incline there in one direction, not that much in the way of cover, could end up being the finishing point of the circle on this game. Schiller from DA has a little bit of a dip. We then have all of these teams needing to move in. NaVi kind of represent the edge of what the next circle is going to be. So that sort of gives you an idea of what's going on. On the southern side, Virtus.pro have to move into Big Boss Life. Literally no choice. They have to find a way. They could get into cars and go west, I suppose, but... And that might even work, actually. But how Virtus.pro is that approach? I think they're gonna... Oh, wow, well... Just as I say, they are unlikely to do it, because they don't like turning their backs on a fight. Virtus.pro here are going to rotate around BBL. Maybe just trying to maneuver themselves into a position where they can effectively fight this fight. They're in now. Oh, and they now have to deal with Team Liquid. It's a bit of a snipe war here. See, it's not as good a position as they were in before. They're open to more angles. More teams can technically shoot them. The only thing they've got going for them, really, is that at least the other teams that can shoot them, like Team Liquid, also have to deal with teams like Unique. So it's not entirely clear. Oh, Svetlana and Jeems going down so quickly, one after the other. And Mixie, unfortunately, out in no man's land. Clip going to try and come in and get them both. How many teams can we actually see from the other side of the smoke? Ah, we've got NaVi out here as well. That's dangerous. Dangerous indeed. We're watching now Hall of Game versus Entropiq versus NaVi. It's the northeastern side of the circle now. And it looks like Evas is going to go down. Entropiq now eliminated by NaVi, which means Team Liquid have a little bit more freedom. Did Clip manage to get both those revives? He did. So Mixie is the player that has gone down early for them. But Clib opens up his account And with 3 players, Team Liquid are into the top 7. Whoa! That was unfortunate. Schiller goes down, but not before destroying the helmet of Klib. Has Schiller still got... Well, he's got a semblance of a helmet, I suppose, that Klib can use. He's going to need a spare in just a second. Only just managing to survive that onslaught. And Godrilla deciding better than to tangle with Team Liquid at the moment. So Big Boss Life, as it stands, in the top 5. Virtus.pro, off to their west, needs to find a way in. The problem is their route's in. They kind of have to get to the warehouse because this is really flat. Once they get to this sort of area, they've got the crates to play with. They could potentially go up here in the dips and around rocks and stuff. And they can use the warehouse. But before they get to the crates, sort of this area here, a little bit of a gauntlet. They're going to have to use a few smokes. Perfectix illustrating there why it's so tricky. Team Liquid helping them out a little bit, though, with a nade onto Fade. Unfortunately, needs a bit more than that. Perfectix has to drop to the deck to heal. No real choice there. BBL still continuing to gatekeep them. They've got all 4 alive, and they're up to 5 kills as well. BBL are having a cracker of a game. And Virtus.pro are definitely in the weaker position of the two. And the problem is BBL only have to deal with 1 team. Virtus.pro have to deal with about 3. Team Liquid with some really excellent grenades onto Team Unique, and Jimbo's going to finish that off. That's a 3rd grenade in succession. And Team Unique suddenly, this being out, this actually helps Virtus.pro. So Team Liquid takes them out. This means VP should, in theory, be able to get back up to a duo, but and they're inside zone as well. So we're really asking ourselves the question, is Smash going to find some super horrible, cheeky angle to smash them all? The answer is yes. That's Perfectix down, and I think he's saying, guys, we think there's only one up. We can afford to do this now. Perfectix down. Smash dodging that grenade beautifully. Only Lou left now for Virtus.pro. BBL doing the business, doing the damage and then moving back. Doing the damage and then moving back. Playing very slow and very patiently against Virtus.pro right now. And one might argue that's the reason why all 4 of them are still alive in the top 4. Top 3 now with 8 kills. BBL having a tremendous game. 3rd team in this equation, of course, is Team Liquid. They're down to 3 players rather than 4, but they've got 6 kills to their name. And they've got zone. Everyone has to move towards them. So that's not bad at all. In 20 seconds, the circle is going to start constricting. And at that point, Lou's going to have to start moving, I'm afraid. That is a redonkulous spray onto Svetlana, I have to say. He gets that, but he knows that the real threat is BBL. Gets headshot as well. Insta-heal. Is it enough time for Smash to move towards him? We'll wait and see. Nades out. Smash looking for an opening. Hasn't found one yet. Might be pulling back, actually. Lou might have done just enough to dissuade them. Realistically, I think Smash is just waiting for the zone to push Lou. Got him. And there we go. Virtus.pro eliminated. It is now BBL versus TL. Big Boss Life versus Team Liquid for the win here in game number 2. Iotek, Code Marco, Smash, and Machine Gun now being subject to the personalized red zone put upon them by Svetlana, Klib, and Jeems. Very important for Team Liquid to get the first knock. Otherwise, it could snowball. Klib has no helmet and virtually nothing on his vest, though. That is a big deal right now. Svetlana's also had their vest smashed up. And BBL now pushing up. They don't want to wait for this. What a ridiculous grenade from James. Team Liquid have been on it with the grenades all day today. They eliminated Team Unique from it earlier. They kept a couple in reserve. Code Marco now down as well. And suddenly, Team Liquid have not only got the opening knock, they've turned the tide. Clib coming around the edge is going to be big. He misses IoTech off to his right. If IoTech steps up now, he could get a double. There's one. Does he get two? He does get two. That is a big omission from Team Liquid, but he does it anyway. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. And James comes good. Team Liquid, by the skin of their teeth, win game number 2 with 10 kills. What an exciting final battle between them and BBL Esports, who finish in second place. We then have Virtus.pro in third. Well done all.